All right, welcome to Love Embodied Part 2. Put you up there. Okay. Instagram, check. Facebook, check. All right, here we go, love bugs. Love Embodied Part 2. Say hi as you're jumping on. Let me know where it is you're chiming in from, and of course, what were some of your biggest takeaways from Part 1? Hold on. Get myself all set up here. So Part 1 was all about trusting yourself and trusting source, because I promise you, if you don't trust yourself, if you're still living in the past or the fear of recreating the past, then you're not going to embody what it is that you want to call in the future. And for me, my biggest takeaway, I feel, is always the driving the car example. That is always what resonates with so many people, and they can actually visualize that of like, oh yeah, you don't drive a car forward by looking over your shoulder or looking at the past. And it's the exact same thing with love. It's the exact same thing with relationships. You don't move forward into the relationship that you desire while looking over your shoulder at every relationship you've had in the past, which is why so many people attract in the same type of relationship, but with a different face, different name, different guy, but the feeling is the same, the essence of the same. And then so many people just get scared and like, well, I don't know how to break my pattern, so I'm just gonna not be in a relationship. Can anybody relate to that? Hands up, a heart, a thumbs up, something. Oh, hello, Alyssa. I didn't know you're in Utah. What is up? You're my neighbor. Karen, hi, sweetie. Oh, so happy you're here. So can anybody resonate with that? Right? It's not working, so I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just going to push it aside. I'm just going to pretend I'm bad at love. I'm just going to focus on my career. I'm just going to stick with my story that all men suck. Online dating sucks. I'm not meant for love. I don't actually want love. I'm actually just fine by myself. My life's great by myself. What do I need a man for? But if in your heart you truly desire to be in partnership, then you are not being in integrity with yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. You are meant to have the desires of your heart. So don't allow the fear to hold you back. So step 1, part 1, all about releasing the fear from the past. Hi, Chris, so that you can trust yourself moving forward. Now, I want to celebrate the first 3 women that have signed up for Single Soulmate. Syra, Bridget, and Esther. I wanted to celebrate you publicly. I'm so excited to welcome you into Single to Soulmate officially, publicly, here on the videos. I'm so excited to work with you, to support you, to guide you, and to be in this awesome soulmate, soul sister community with you. Magic is going to happen this year, my loves. Mwah! Okay, so today's topic is all about receiving and receiving pleasure. So many people are good at giving. They're really good at giving advice, giving compliments, giving pleasure. Big one. Anybody here a people pleaser? So many people are great at giving. That's only half of the equation, though. You have to be able to receive. And you all know I teach on manifestation. There's 2 parts of the equation to manifestation. It's not just putting what you want out into the universe. It's making the space to receive it, which means you have to believe that you are worthy of receiving the thing, which has to do with self-love. So what are ways that we could increase the self-love? What are ways that you could increase your ability to receive? What are ways that you could increase your ability to receive pleasure? Because when you're blocking compliments, when you're blocking people doing nice things for you, when you're blocking pleasure, when you think pleasure is bad, when you think you have to work hard all day for your life, for your money, you're blocking. You're blocking your ability to receive not just love, but everything in your life. Because if you're blocking yourself for one thing, I promise you, you're blocking yourself in other areas as well. Hi Auntie A. Thanks for being here. Good to see you again. We got the 70s today. I already did yoga in the park, talk about pleasure, enjoyed the sun. Now I'm wearing a dress and did my hair and put on these amazing earrings that I got in Ecuador. So when I'm thinking about receiving and receiving pleasure, I'm making pleasure the basis of my day to day. Because it's so easy to get caught up in that masculine energy of do in order to prove my worth. I've seen this with my clients and I've seen it with myself. The more I do, the more worthy I am. I couldn't possibly be worthy on my own. I need to do something to prove my worth. And this starts from childhood, conditions of worth. Your parents say, be a good girl and do this, be a good boy and do that. So from a very young age, we're given the message that you're not already worthy on your own. You need to do something in order to be good. And so how do we counteract that? We make pleasure a part of the day to day. We make feeling good a part of the day to day. And we don't do things from the sake of just doing them to check it off the list. We do them for the sake of enjoyment. So yes, I do yoga because it's part of maintaining a healthy and flexible body, but I don't do it from the sake of like, gotta get my yoga done and get back home. I walk to the park and I enjoy the walk and I enjoy the yoga and the sounds of the birds and the breathing, the stretching, the moving, the slowing down. So can you slow down? Can you bring more pleasure into each moment and shift from this masculine energy of I need to do in order to achieve, in order to prove, in order to mark something off of my to-do list, to this feminine energy of appreciation, of enjoyment, of course I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. And when you slow down and spend more time in these moments of just joy and appreciation, this increases your ability to receive in your life, to receive love, to receive pleasure. Because ultimately what you're saying is, this is okay. This is good. I deserve this. It's good to feel good. Yeah, so Alicia says, I walked this morning. It feels good to be up early and start my day on the positive. Yeah, part of what I've been doing these past couple of months is getting up earlier so that I have more time for me in the morning. Sacred mornings with exercise, with yoga, with music, with journaling, with my tea, meditation, prayer, reading. Slowing down, I believe, is a big part of receiving pleasure in your life, because if you're just jumping from A to B to C to D and items on your to-do list, how are you actually present? How are you actually in the moment? How are you actually in pleasure? I was watching the Sex in the City movie the other night, and in one of the scenes, Miranda's having sex with Brady. Brady or Brady their son? No, Brady's their son. What the heck's his name? Whatever, her husband. I can't remember his name. And so she's having sex with him, and they haven't had sex in 6 months. And it's 2 a.m, and she's about to come. And then he's like trying to slow it down and switch to a different position. And she's like, well, let's just get it over with. That's the opposite of pleasure. She's not in the moment. She's not enjoying it. And so if you're looking for the next moment, you cannot be in a state of appreciation and pleasure, which means you're blocking it. So where in your life are you moving too fast? Are you going from A to B to C to D, trying to get everything on your, Steve, thank you, Brady's his son, trying to get everything done on your to-do list? Life is meant to feel good. We are put on this planet to enjoy. And I know I've said this before, but why do you want anything? Because of how you think you will feel when you get it. So if you're rushing through the feeling part, then truly what's the point? But when it comes to manifestation, how you manifest in your life is through feeling. So when you slow down and you find the pleasure in, I don't know, like a nice bubbly kombucha, or a delicious glass of wine, or this meal you just prepared, or a walk to the park. When you can just slow down and be in the feeling of it, that is opening yourself up to so much of the love, abundance, pleasure, joy of the universe. And including for those of you that are really looking to call in love. I know some of you that are here, you're already in partnership, you're already married, and you're interested in learning more ways to truly love yourself and embody love. Well, for those of you in relationship, these practices are going to help your relationship. Because a woman in love with herself, who's experiencing more pleasure, who's open to receiving compliments, gifts, whatever it is her partner's love, that's only going to enhance your relationship. So in what ways are you blocking receiving in your life? And feel free to type them in or open up your journal and write it down. But in what ways are you actually blocking? Ways that I have blocked or that I've seen my clients blocked is blocking compliments. Blocking a man trying to open the door for you. Blocking a man or friends wanting to buy you dinner or buy you a drink or take you on a trip. Ultimately, when you're blocking, you're saying, no, I'm not worthy of receiving. And how can you be the embodiment of love if you're down here in lack of self-worth? You can't. So instead, you could just practice saying, thank you. I receive that. Oh, I receive that compliment. I receive that gift. I receive that drink. Whatever it is, I want you to practice receiving. So right now, what are ways that you are blocking receiving in your life? Think about it. Now, on the flip side of the equation, resistance or trying to control. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, we're going to get into that more with connection to self and source and the universe. Because when you are in your ego and you're trying to control it all, you are not trusting. So that was yesterday or 2 days ago, part 1. And ultimately, you're saying, you've got it all figured out. You know better than the universe, so let me try to control it all. It's time to let go. If you think about rafting down a river, the river knows the path of least resistance. But you're like in there trying to paddle upstream and go around when actually you really don't need to. The river's going to carry you down where you need to go. Ooh, I used to accept compliments easily when younger, but I have a difficult time accepting them now. That's where your work begins. Practice saying thank you. Practice saying thank you. I receive that. Thank you. That's so sweet of you to say. Thank you, you just made my day. Because think about this. Giving a gift goes both ways. The person who gives it, who gives you the gift of the compliment, the dinner, the drink, the trip, the shirt, whatever. When you block that, that's such an insult, isn't it? What if I said, oh my God, Alicia, I have something for you. I'm so excited. I got you this most amazing thing and I gave it to you. And you rejected it. You're like, no, I couldn't possibly receive that. Ultimately, that was a slap in my face. I'm like, but I wanted to give you this gift. And then think about it on the flip side. When you give someone a gift, how do you feel? And you're like, I spent all this time picking out this gift. I know they're going to love it. It's the perfect color. It's the perfect size. They were talking about this thing for months. They're going to be so surprised. They're going to be so excited. I know this person wants this gift. And then you give it to them. And they're like, I can't accept this. You're like, what? I just put so much love and energy into giving this to you. So blocking compliments, blocking attention, blocking energy, blocking someone holding the door open for you, blocking someone buying you dinner, blocking someone wanting to treat you to whatever it is, in a way is a bit of an insult. Because it's such a gift to give as much as it is to receive. So for those of you that are on one end of the equation, that it's so easy for you to give, but it's hard for you to receive, I want you to remember how good it feels to you when you give. That's why you give, because it feels so good. So allow everybody else to have that gift as well when they're giving to you. Whether it's a compliment, it's a smile, it's an energetic exchange, a physical exchange, whatever it is, it's the natural flow. And if you're only good at one and not the other, you're blocking. You're blocking the flow of energy. It's the inhale and the exhale. You can't just exhale and you can't just inhale. You got to have both, the giving and receiving. So it's not just masculine energy and it's not just feminine energy. It's finding that balance of the two, of giving and receiving. So what gives you pleasure? How can we up that? So we've talked about let's not block any longer. That's just silly. But what about acknowledging everything in your life that does give you pleasure? And for those of you who have read Destination Soulmate, available on Amazon, you'll know I have a list in there called the love list. And the love list is simply where you sit down and you think about, well, what are things that put me in good vibration? What are things that help me to feel good? Which is why I do yoga, which is why I go for walks and hikes and bike rides, which is why I'll put on the music and dance while I'm making dinner, or drink a glass of wine and dance while I'm making dinner, or I'll call friends up or do FaceTime, or I'm about to embark on a 6-month minimum travel journey, because I am all about feeling good and feeling pleasure. And that's not to say I don't have downtime. Sometimes pleasure is sitting on the couch and watching a movie or reading a book or going to bed early. But what are things in your life that you already know bring you pleasure that you haven't been doing or that you could be doing more? I believe that when we raise our vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. I'm here, I love my job, I love what I do, that I get to impact thousands at a time, and then that light ripples out into your communities with your family. But if you just do the work yourself to raise your own vibration, you become an inspiration to others to do the same, to stop worrying so much about pleasing others. So do the work on yourself. You will inspire others, but not only that, we need more people in their pleasure on this planet. Not people that have been suppressed, that are being told what to do, that are not happy in their jobs, not happy in their lives, not happy in their relationships, not happy in their friendships. You can't be the embodiment of love and attract in a loving relationship if you're living your life for other people and you're suppressing your pleasure and you're putting everybody else first and you think it's wrong to feel good. It's good to feel good, actually. We're meant to feel good. Anything we want in life is because of how we think we're going to feel when we get it. So why don't you jump straight ahead to point B and feel good? Feel the feelings. If we want to talk about manifestation a little bit, you need to feel the feelings as if the thing had already showed up. So how would you feel in partnership if you're looking to manifest love? You've got to feel that way today. How do you do that? That's for you to figure out. What can you do today to feel loved, adored, cherished, supported, safe? However it is you think you're going to feel in love when you're in partnership. You're a big girl. You can figure that out. So this is just a reminder. Don't wait for something external outside of you to help you to feel a certain way. You decide, I'm going to feel that way. So I'm going to go do the things that help me to feel that way. I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to raise my vibration. I'm going to decide each and every day that I can choose to be happy, that I can choose to feel good, that I can choose to acknowledge the love that's already in my life, that I can make this list of things I love to do that make me feel good and raise my vibration and put myself first and do the things on this list. Oh my God, God forbid you be putting yourself first, putting your pleasure first. Alicia, gratitude list. Oh yeah, I am such a big fan of gratitude list. Appreciation lately. I've been each and every day just sitting either on the couch or lying in bed or when I'm walking, I'm just always bringing in appreciation. I'm so appreciative of whatever it is in my surroundings. Especially as one who's about to go on the road, like, well, I'm appreciating these last moments of just being in my space and my energy and my things and how things are and how I like them, because this is all going to be changing very soon. So the appreciation is a great way to raise your vibration because you're focusing on the joy of the present moment. It's a great way to increase the pleasure. Now, what are ways for you to increase pleasure in your life? I gave you some of mine. There's a whole kind of, with some people, maybe taboo topic of sex or self-pleasure. On my podcast, the Manifest It All podcast, I actually interviewed a woman on orgasmic manifesting. So using self-pleasure combined with what it is you're looking to manifest. Because think about it, that sexual energy is the energy of creation. It creates a life, it creates babies. And usually when you're having sex, you're so present, and that moment of orgasm is incredibly present. You are just right there, right there, right there. There's no resistance. And so if you're combining what it is you desire with zero resistance, and then that pure pleasure and that moment of orgasm, of climax, with that energy that can create life, it's a really powerful manifesting tool. So that could be a way that maybe you bring more pleasure into your life, more pleasure into your body. Maybe it's slowing down, going slower, not rushing from point A to point B. Maybe it's taking baths instead of showers. I've started taking baths multiple nights a week as just a way of this feels good. Have a bath, read a book, listen to music, light some candles. So how can you bring more pleasure into your life, knowing that when we think about the vibrational scale of love's at the top and fear's at the bottom, it's going to bring you up the scale as you're focusing on your pleasure. And when you move up the scale, and you're vibrating up here, that changes your point of attraction. Because you don't get what you want, you get who you are. You're always getting a vibrational, energetic match for what you're putting out based on your feelings and your belief systems. The key components of manifestation. What you believe and how you feel is affecting your life each and every day, whether you know it or not. You don't have to know about gravity to have it affect your life. You don't have to understand the law of attraction to have it affect your life. It's going to affect your life no matter what, based on the vibration you're putting out, which are your belief systems and your feelings. And a lot of your belief systems have been handed to you by society. It's the world we grew up in. This is the collective consciousness of belief systems, of history, of story that we've all been told, that we've all unconsciously agreed to. That's fine. I'm not trying to get you to change the past. I want to inspire you that you can change your future. From this moment right here, right now, based on what you're making a priority in your life, which is how you feel. And if you make feeling good a priority, I promise you, you will attract love into your life, not just in an intimate relationship, but in your job, in your friendships, in absolutely every single area. Because you will always get what you are a vibrational match for. Your emotions are vibration. They are energy in motion. So what is that energy you're putting out? Think about it. When you walk into a room, you can feel the energy. If a couple just had a fight, you can feel it in the air. Or, I don't know if you ever had this, when a couple's totally in love and they're in that honeymoon phase, you can feel that too. Or maybe they just made love. You can feel that. You can feel it. It's energy. And I can't even tell you how many women over the years tell me they feel their energy raise just by being on these live streams with me. Why? Because it's energy. We can lift each other's energy up, we can pull each other's energy down. But if you make it a consistent priority every day to feel good, to do things on your love list, to focus on pleasure, not blocking receiving pleasure, to remind yourself that it's okay to feel good, it's okay to receive, then you will continuously get more and more and more and more and more of that in your life. But I can't be the one to do it for you. So you have to be the one to make it a priority. All right, receiving and receiving pleasure. Thoughts, questions, comments, struggles, blocks, BS. What's coming up for you? All right, I'm gonna read you something real quick from here. While you're typing in your things, Corey was having a rough go. She had just lost her job. Her washing machine was not working. Her car just broke down. She was 5 days away from her electricity getting turned off. By the way, who here has read this? I know a couple of you have. I know Lucy has. I know Karen has. I'm curious to know who else. Just curious. Who's read my book? Okay, anyway, Corey's having a rough go. How can I focus on feeling good, Emerald, when everything around me is crumbling down? I must say, she had a good point. How can you turn your focus on something that's not in your immediate surroundings when your reality is so strong and prevalent? The answer is practice. Your brain is a muscle just like any other muscle in your body. It gets stronger the more you practice using it. And practicing where to put your focus takes time and energy. Instead of looking around your current reality and thinking to yourself, well, this sucks, you could ask yourself, how could I improve my situation? Or where am I headed? You've now given your brain the task to look for solutions instead of focusing on what's wrong. If you focus only on your problems, how can you truly ever find a solution to your woes? But when you're solution-oriented, you open yourself up to the possibility of a solution. So no matter how bad you might be feeling, I want you to adopt the mindset of how can things get better? How can I feel better right now? Couple journal prompts. How can I commit to raising my vibration by doing items on my love list even when I feel like crap? What could potentially get in my way of feeling better? And what will I do to combat it? How can my life get better than what it is right now? How can I remind myself to look on the bright side and be grateful for everything I already have? Are there people in my life that are contributing to low levels of happiness? Is there any way I could change how I interact with them or my feelings about them? Are there any people in my life that cause me a high level stress? Is there a way to remove them from my life, change how I interact with them, or change my perception of them? Or on the flip side, who in my life raises my vibration? Can I spend more time with them? And that right there, that question right there is honestly what I am most excited about for Single to Soulmate, my group coaching program. Like, yes, the modules are transformational, the videos, the hypnosis, the meditation, like that's where the work is. I'm not gonna lie, like you've got to do the work, you've got to dig in and pull the weeds out. But beyond that, I want it to be fun, not just like, oh man, I have to go through these modules every week so that I can attract love into my life. But I get to have fun while doing it and be surrounded by this amazing high vibe community of people that are cheering me on. And oh yeah, I get access to Emerald every single week in the Facebook group and live coaching calls every single week forever. That's the most exciting part for me about the group coaching. I mean, you go click the enrollment page link, you'll see like there's so many testimonials of women who have found love, found their partners, like stopped smoking, lost weight, changed jobs, got a raise, healed their relationships with their mothers, their stepmothers, their sisters. Like all of these ancillary benefits are amazing, don't get me wrong. But for me personally, it's the community that is my favorite part of the program. Because so many people say, I don't have that community, I don't have that high vibe, who can I turn to? Well, you can turn to your Single to Soulmate community and Emerald Sinclair. All right. Ooh, Chris got Destination to Soulmate a couple days ago, and she's a couple days in. Awesome, awesome. Yes, Alicia, I know you've already read it. So, that's what I have for today, my loves. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about receiving? How are we feeling about receiving pleasure? Do you still feel blocked? Have you perhaps shifted a little bit? Like, maybe it would be a good idea to focus a little bit more on my pleasure and myself and how I can feel good. So that's your homework. Tomorrow, part 3, connection to self, connection to source, connection to love. You've got to understand that source is love. Love is the energy of creation. You were made from love. You are love. You've just forgotten. So the embodiment of love is that remembrance. So we're going to get into that mañana, tomorrow. Alicia, we'll try to be more open. And when you say that, it even reminds me your body posturing is a big part of receiving. Arms crossed, blocking. Arms open, chest up, shoulders back, that's much more receiving. Chin up, looking someone in the eyes and smiling is much more receiving than chin down, looking at the ground. So even being aware of the energy that your body is exuding when it comes to receiving, when it comes to receiving pleasure. Ooh, I can tell I physically and emotionally block meeting new people and men. Yeah. So just be aware. Awareness is that first step, but then the second step, if you desire it, would be that intention of, I choose to be more open. I choose to receive. I choose to receive from the universe. I choose to receive compliments. I choose to receive smiles, whatever it is. Setting the intention is first, but then making that active choice would be second. And no one can make that choice for you. Of course, I want that for you. That's why I'm here leading this training. But you have to be the one to want it and decide that you're choosing to receive love in your life and you're choosing to make pleasure a priority in your life. I used to be open to meeting new people, set in my ways as I get old. And that's fine. I mean, everyone gets to decide what it is they want in their life. For me, I don't ever want to be stuck in a certain mindset as I get older. That's just me. I like learning new things. I like exploring new things, new people, new places. So if you're comfortable where you're at and you like where you're at, great. But if you don't, you're not a tree, you can change. I mean, I guess trees go through cycles too and seasons. I was thinking more like if you don't like where you're at, you're not a tree, you can move. I think I saw that quote somewhere once. Okay, love bugs. So I'm feeling good. Are we all feeling good? Do we have any questions on the topic? Kind of a shy crowd today, and that's fine. So, when it comes to receiving, when it comes to receiving pleasure, when it comes to embodying love, so many people are so good at giving, but not the other side of the equation, which is the receiving. So if you're blocking the receiving, I promise you, you are blocking love from being in your life. So part of your task is to allow yourself to receive graciously, to just practice saying thank you and to take more time to slow down, to bring more pleasure into your life, more of the energy of pleasure into your life and allowing everything to be pleasureful. For me, because I love eating, I really try to slow down when I eat and not multitask. So I'm not on my phone, I'm not reading, I'm just enjoying the meal. Or when I'm out for walks, sometimes I'm listening to music, but a lot of times I don't. I'm listening to the birds, I'm watching the sunset. I'm just being present. So we all have to slow down a little bit and not make life about the doing, but make life about the being, the receiving, the pleasure. All right, let's see what this says up here. If someone you go on a date with doesn't feel like a match, does that mean they don't match your energy, or is it you're denying in him what you're denying in yourself and he is your mirror? Oh, okay. Doesn't feel like a match. So here's the thing. I believe we're all energetic matches for each other. And so when you're going out on a date with someone, if it doesn't feel like a match, then yes, there is something about that other person that is energetically not a match. And if you haven't listened to the podcast episode, what was the title of it? The purpose of relationships. Go listen to that one for one. It was just a couple weeks ago. It's a recent episode. So everything is energy. And so you could match someone and it not feel like a fit, but you could also be denying in them what you're denying in yourself. Meaning they're not really interested in you physically and you're not interested in them physically could mean that you're blocking your own physical beauty. Or it could just mean you're not a match for each other physically and there's other things going on underneath the surface around maybe, for example, you're still afraid of falling in love. Or it could mean there was just a lesson there. Maybe you had something for this person had something for you. Maybe you were meant to experience the contrast of what you didn't like so it could help you get clear on what you do like. Maybe you were meant to just go out on a date and get out of the house. Maybe. So there's so many reasons and purposes behind relationships. But the way I look at it is nothing is right, wrong, good, or bad. I believe the world is a mirror externally for what's going on internally. There's no such thing as a bad relationship, a bad date. So if you can look at it as, what was the lesson here? What can I be grateful for? What did this person teach me? What does my higher self think about this? If you go at it from that point of view, I promise you, you'll learn what you needed to learn and you can move forward confidently in the direction of what it is that you desire. But if you just look at it as like, oh, it's a bad date or there's something wrong with me or blah, 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 that's not going to help. So instead, I would actually suggest that you do a little exercise and ask your higher self, like, what's the lesson here? What did I have to learn? What was the point? You can do a letters to God exercise and write it all down and see what you come up with. Because your higher self is going to have your answers for you. I have a lot of ideas based on what I have seen with myself and clients, but I don't know the exact answer to the specific date for you. But what I can tell you is the world is just always reflecting back to us what we believe we can have and what we're available for. And if you find the lesson there, great. You don't have to repeat the lesson. Perhaps it's good to look at both sides. Absolutely, always. And so that's how we supersede our emotions or expectations of just being that conscious observer. And I was talking to a client about this morning. I'm like, remember, you're starring in the movie and you're directing the movie and you're watching the movie. So you have the perspective of your human self, and sometimes we forget and we get caught up in the movie, the role that we're playing, but then you have the observer. Think about it. You can observe the thoughts going on in your mind. So you can actually watch yourself think. You can step out and be like, wait a second, what's actually going on here? And then you're the one directing the movie. So when you take that perspective of your higher self, it's okay, why did I choose this? What was the lessons that I needed to learn that I chose before I incarnated? So that's why I think having that type of perspective just makes life a whole lot easier and a lot more enjoyable because you're not getting caught in the role. And that's the thing. So many human beings, we get caught up in the role thinking like this is the drama when it's not. You're starring in the movie, you're directing the movie, and you're watching the movie. But how often of your time are you getting caught up in the forgetting of this is it? Like, this is it. I'm an Emerald Sinclair. That's it. This is my role. I'm a mentor. I'm a guide. I have this type of body. I have this type of car. I have these types of friends. I have this type of money in my bank account versus bigger perspective. There's so much more than just that. So great question. Thank you for asking. So I want you all to just stop for a minute and focus on breathing. Just deep breaths. Just keep breathing. Just notice, how does it feel in your body? How good it feels to breathe. To bring that life force into your vessel. So just slow down and be present. So today I invite you to just focus on being softer, slower, more present, bringing the pleasure into everything you're doing instead of making it an item on your to-do list. Okay? So I will see you tomorrow, same time, for part 3. And I know I talked about this before, but group coaching, our first call is next week. It's weekly calls until forever. And you get access to my entire single to soulmate system, which countless women have gone through in the last 4 years and experienced amazing results, not just with attracting in love or fiancés or husbands or partners, but ancillary benefits, like I was saying before, like weight loss, quitting smoking, healing relationships with friends and family members, getting free Lexuses, getting $60,000 a year raises, all expense paid work trips. The list goes on and on. When you do the internal work around self-love, around belief systems, it's going to affect every single area of your life. So it's more than just the guy, and I've said this so many times, so much more than just the guy. It's about you having it all. It's about you believing in yourself. It's about you having the courage to go after your dreams and to dream bigger than you ever have before, because you can only receive what it is that you believe you can have, which means if you change what you believe you can have, you change what you receive. But your belief systems might still perhaps be stuck in the past of what other people told you you could have, but instead, and that's not for you, I'm here to help you shift your belief system, to raise your belief system, because I can promise you, without a doubt, I see it happen time and time and time and time and time and time again. When you change what you believe you can have, what you receive changes in your life. It's that simple. It's not necessarily easy to do, but that's the accountability of the weekly support with my private clients and the group coaching. And that's why I see this amazing, massive transformation, because as women are changing their belief systems around themselves and around love and around life and around career and around money, they receive to match that. So you can never receive more than what you believe. You have to believe it in order to receive it. I'll write that down. I like that. Thanks, Source. All right, ladies, I'm sending you all so much love, and I will see you tomorrow for part 3. The link to Single to Soulmate is in my Instagram bio, Facebook. It should just be in that header photo, and I will see you within Single to Soulmate, and I will see you tomorrow for part 3. Mwah. Bye, bye, bye. Have a gorgeous day.